In this video, we're gonna take you to a faraway village in India where people are freaking out because a UFO appeared over the sacred lake. But before we get started, remember to hit that subscribe button down below for more videos about mysterious UFO sightings. Yet every year it seems like these so-called experts are proven wrong, when yet another UFO is spotted somewhere on our planet, and recorded video of the strange occurrence with the hopes of sharing it with the world. And if it weren't for the fact that he did just that, we may have never heard about this case at all. One of the most recent cases comes from the Indian state of Haryana, where a man known only as Rajendra claimed that he saw a UFO appear over the sacred lake, Mansagar. You see, the day before, the object had been seen floating over the lake at around 8:30 p.m., according to the witnesses, but the next morning, at around 6:30 a.m., the townspeople returned to the shore to find a massive crater in the middle of the lake, one that wasn't there the evening before. But if a UFO had landed in the lake and made a hole in it, wouldn't the hole be filled with debris from the UFO? In fact, no one knows how the water filled it overnight, or where the water came from in the first place. The entire thing was very bizarre and unexplainable. It is said that Brahma created the lake to bless a sage who was performing penance at the time. Because of this, the lake is considered a holy site, and the people who live nearby consider it to be a manifestation of Lord Vishnu. You would think so, but that's not what happened here. So even though they were clearly frightened by the UFO and whatever it was that it did to the lake, they felt like they couldn't move the boat. They immediately sent a team to investigate, but all they found was the crater in the lake. However, they never released any further details on what these markings looked like, or whether they matched the description of any known substance. Instead, they just sat there in awe as they watched it hover over the water and disappear into the darkness. While the officials were investigating, they interviewed the eyewitnesses, trying to piece together exactly what had happened the night before, but that it was definitely something otherworldly. But this is where things get a little weird. The officials asked Rajendra why he hadn't come forward with this footage right away, why he had waited so long to tell anyone what he had seen. That's when they met a man named Rajendra, the man who filmed the original video. We're always told by scientists that there is no life beyond Earth, that we are alone in the universe. Or perhaps they truly believed that what he had seen was an angel, and as far as we know, the hole is still there today, a constant reminder of the alleged UFO sighting and subsequent angelic visit. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Well, yes, they were shocked, but not for the reason you might think. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out and allows us to continue making more great videos for you. Apparently, he was afraid that no one would believe him if he came forward with the footage, so he hid it on his phone for as long as he could, and they praised him for coming forward, calling him a brave young man who had seen an angel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Now, this may sound strange considering the fact that they didn't seem to believe his story, but eventually, the guilt became too much, and he decided to share it with the world. He said that at first, he thought it was a helicopter, but then he realized that it was too low to the ground and moving erratically. That's when he pulled out his phone and began recording. But what happened next was really unexpected. After seeing the unidentified flying object, he quickly pulled out his phone. Well, the answer is simple. See, this lake is considered sacred among the locals. It's known as Lake Ma. Some people can be heard gasping in the background, while others remain silent as they stare up at the object hovering over the lake. As it hovers, you can see tiny white lights begin to emerge from its underbelly, pulsing with an eerie glow. The footage shows a huge, bright, round object floating slowly across the sky above the water. Another added, "Is this an angel or a UFO? I don't know, but I saw this myself." However, as the hours passed, the posts became increasingly frantic. People began writing things like, "Oh my God, what is this? And save us from this alien spaceship." At first, many of them posted pictures of the UFO that they had captured on their phones, although none of them were very clear. But after that, they began posting pictures of the crater in the lake as well, claiming that it was evidence of extraterrestrial activity. That's because after the object began to descend over the lake, people reported hearing a loud boom and then the lights went out. They say that at this point, the crowd watching the object began to freak out, unsure of what to do or even what was happening. But this is only the beginning of the mystery. It wasn't until the next morning that they discovered something incredible. No one could figure out how it got there, since the lake is a protected religious site. No boats or vehicles are ever allowed on it. This led people to believe that the crater must have been caused by the UFO, and that it landed in the water. This crater was roughly 20 feet wide and 5 feet deep, which is incredibly large. According to some reports, the hole in the lake was filled with water, but this is where things get really interesting. Instead, the crater was completely dry. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, why didn't the people in the video pull their boat back away from the lake? And according to Hindu mythology, it was created by Lord Brahma, the god of creation. As you can imagine, this means that they don't want to disrespect the lake in any way. After this incredible experience, the local people rushed to social media to share what they had seen. One person wrote on Facebook, "Look at the sky, a UFO has appeared." But still, no one knew exactly what to make of the situation. It wasn't long before the news of the UFO sighting reached local officials. According to one government official, they also noticed scorch marks around the perimeter of the hole. And that brings us to the strangest part of the story. Rajendra explained to the officials that he had been standing by the lake with his friends when they saw the UFO hovering above them. He explained that he wasn't sure if what he was seeing was an angel or a UFO, and his answer was simply that he was scared. But what was the reaction of the officials once they heard his explanation? Were they shocked? Did they think that he was lying? The officials actually seemed convinced that what Rajendra was saying was true. But perhaps they were trying to calm everyone down. Perhaps they wanted to avoid mass hysteria, so they played along with Rajendra's story. Whatever the case may be, they never did figure out what caused the crater in the lake. What do you think really happened here? Could it have been a UFO, a secret government craft, or was it truly an angel? And as we end today's video, we'd like to thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Also, do you want to forget to hit that subscribe button, so you never miss out on any of our future videos. Now check out this video from our channel. It's really interesting.